Okay, perfect. So I think the first thing is like there are things that the governments can do in order to minimize the intensity of the conflict. The first thing is like a requirement from the Israeli side is that Israel needs to draw the lines of like where are your borders? Where are you going to stop? What do you want exactly? What is your policy? Because the current Israeli policy of allowing very rapid settlement expansion, I haven't researched that, but from what I hear from Palestinian officials, I don't know if that's a neutral source, they say that expansion of Israeli settlements is much higher than any like normal expansion in any Western city like New York. So Israel needs to mind that and needs to know where it stops and needs to stop outposts and these these people who take over hills and then it becomes a settlement later and land confiscation whatsoever. Because I think this is important. Israel must do that because people would like the Palestinian people would feel that we can wait. We don't need to be in a conflict. We don't need to like support terrorism. We don't need to because we can wait. Maybe something will change. But I think what makes it very difficult for peace supporting Palestinians to uh, promote their views or to do something is that it's ongoing. You don't know. Like we feel that we are losing and losing and losing and losing. This is on the Israeli government, but the Palestinian government has a responsibility. The Palestinian government should help the Israeli government do that by changing its thinking from the absolute mentality, it's either we take everything or nothing, to a transitional mentality. Because what the Israeli government is saying, okay, we are like enjoying. Why do we need to change our policies? For Netanyahu, settlers are more important than the feelings of the Palestinians because we are not the ones who vote for him. It's the settlers. So I think the Palestinian Authority should embarrass him with practical transitional proposals, concrete, solid, implantable proposals.
Thank you, Muhammad. So Daniel, we're talking about practical first steps, and Muhammad, I think that's a great start. Is there anything you'd like to add to that, Daniel?
I think I touched upon like the basic idea beforehand. As for drawing borders, the only thing is that what borders will they draw? Because let's say so this also touches back onto the like theoretical confederation model, which is will the confederation model be like based on 67 borders, and therefore, but the fact that it is 67 borders is not that relevant and not the same concern as traditional model because hey, anyways, there's freedom of movement and all that, right? Um, the thing is, I just can't see like as an early step Israel being okay. Our borders is 67 borders. I mean, East Jerusalem, the Jewish quarter, Hebron. I just don't see these things like Israel like formally basically saying this is in your territory. But I'll say that I think a more important step than these symbolic gestures would be, for example, Palestinian building permits. Palestinian building permits in Area C in East Jerusalem, high rates of rejection of citizenship application in East Jerusalem. So like Israel's argument is basically what the West being for in
Oh, Daniel, you froze. While Daniel's back, I'm going to announce that this is the last week we're using Be Live. Be Live, you're fired. You're fired. And it seems like after this week, Trump is also fired. Um, Time will tell. I wanted to bring
Yeah,
up.
hopefully.
oh my
It
god,
looks like it. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I don't know, my connection
All,
keeps cutting out.
all good. All
All
good.
right.
All good.
So yeah, just continuing where I left off. hold up, what was the? Oh yeah, so these are, I think, more important than symbolic gestures of, okay, this is where the borders are. But within the pragmatic things of what Muhammad said in terms of drawing the borders, I think when people talk about like settlement freezes, I don't know if I like support like a total settlement freeze, but like there shouldn't be, I don't think there should be expansion beyond the main settlement blocks. In my ideal world, there would be able to be like no limit to Jewish, and there would be no limit to the Arab population in their areas expanding. It will just, I mean, it would be regulated by laws, like the way it's regulated, you know, here in New York. It's not like, you know, there's laws and so, but I think the main thing, which will be also less controversial, is just approving more Palestinian permits. I think that's better than just saying, okay, Jews can't build in the West Bank. But again, that will eventually be part of it, I think. Go ahead, Mom.
Just a small clarification here. I meant when I said like drawing the lines, I meant the lines, not the borders. So people know when I drive in the West Bank, like at the heart of the West Bank, I know that this is like where likely Israel is going to stop. This is where likely the Palestinian entity or the Palestinian heart or the Palestinian political representation, whether it's now or in the future, is going to be. There's a feeling that Israel is not going to stop anywhere. Like we hear, oh, like Israel is building a major road and investing millions for like a road in the heart of the West Bank between near Hawara and Yitzhar and these areas. Like, why are you like these? This is what I mean. We need to know where Israel stops.
Yeah, you know, I think
what is reserved to us, even in the future, even after 100 years. There's something should be reserved.